In this video, I answer the million-dollar question of the century: why get solar panels? With the 3 most compelling reasons you should consider a home solar panel system. Stick around to the end of the video because I share with you the costly mistake most people make when going solar that you can avoid and save thousands. I'm Ron Lyons, Mr. Clean Energy, author and energy expert, guiding you to energy management, power generating, and money-saving solutions for your home and health. For the latest tips, strategies, and reviews on reducing your energy costs, eco-friendly products to help you save money while going green, and organic chemical-free solutions for better health and a sustainable lifestyle, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell to be notified with new videos weekly. So you're sick and tired of the rising costs of electricity, but you're asking yourself, why get solar panels? Coming up, the 3 reasons you should consider solar panels, and a bonus tip if you watch to the end, what every homeowner must do before investing in solar panels, and what most solar installers will never tell you. Number 1, the whole world is embracing solar. We have depended largely on coal, fossil fuels, and nuclear power to fuel our energy needs for the last century. The current grid in the US consists of 5 power grids that were largely built 100 years ago, with most of the infrastructure being over 50 years old. You can Google this information. I promise I'm not making this up. I said 100 years ago. Now, obviously, some improvements have been made, but the fact is, our grid is in dire straits and is literally falling apart. It would take $5 trillion to replace the current old, outdated, and dirty grid, and in fact, in 2017, dozens of bills were sent through the White House for various upgrades. These bills represent hundreds of billions of dollars to rebuild this infrastructure. And how do you think much of this is being funded? Yep, you guessed it, by us, the taxpayers. So if that isn't enough to get your blood boiling, how about this? The cost of electricity is actually very cheap, but the utility companies who buy this electricity hike up the prices, then charge the end user a much higher cost. Now, we've seen some deregulation over the last few years, but one way or another, the big utility companies have their hand in how we get our electricity. We have literally been bullied and lied to for decades, and as most people know, the cost of electricity continues to increase at record speeds. We pay the ridiculous cost of electricity so that CEOs and other executives can live a lavish lifestyle. Meanwhile, many people struggle just to pay their monthly bills. With the aging infrastructure of our grids, this cost is not going down anytime soon. Solar solves many of the problems we face today with the old energy grid, but more importantly, it helps decentralize energy and gives the control back to us. With solar, we control our energy costs, which in reality is free. Every hour, the sun hits the earth with 430 quintillion joules of energy. That's a number so big that it has 19 zeros in it, and it's more energy than we consume in a year. All we have to do is harness the power and it'll change the world. Even in the US, where tariffs are slowing down solar growth just a tiny bit, the market is still growing. You can take away net metering programs, tax breaks, tariffs, and it's still less expensive to get solar on your home right now than it is to pay a utility to give you power. The fact is, solar is growing faster than anyone predicted. Do a little research and it'll show that the numbers are staggering. And even in the US, where we have the wonderful tariffs, the growth continues to exceed all expectations. Look at Germany. In January of 2018, they produced 100% of their energy from all renewable sources. Over 55 cities in the US alone, actually I think it's like 60 now, have committed to renewable sources of energy for their city by 2020. And even the entire state of California is passing legislation that in 2020, all new home construction must have solar installed. The global community has embraced solar. This is a fact, and we can go back and forth on global warming and other issues, but The facts don't lie. Solar is here to stay. Now, what about the costs? So that brings us to number 2. Residential solar already makes sense financially. Already the price of installing solar on homes is less expensive than most vehicles, and financing them through home equity loans will give an average homeowner in the US a less expensive monthly payment than they are paying already for their utility. My electric bill in the summer used to be over $300, and the average over the course of the year was about $160 per month. Now I pay $94 a month for my panels, saving me money every month, and even if I never paid the panels off, my rate never goes up. But of course, I'll have them paid off in about 10 years or less. People even have monthly phone bills that are more expensive than financing solar. And that's today. Imagine the case in 10 years from now. To put this in perspective, you've been paying for overpriced electricity your whole life. And unless you switch to solar energy, you'll continue to pay those inflated prices, which will also continue to go up. For me, that translates into a savings of about $28,000 over the course of 20 years. And that's only if the prices don't go up, which of course we all know isn't going to happen. Or you can purchase some equipment to harness the free abundant energy of the sun. That sure, it may cost you as much as a nice car, but then you'll have control over your energy. And more than likely, you'll spend far less. In fact, on average in the US, about $30,000 less over the course of 25 years. So if you like paying for electricity, then, or I should say overpaying for electricity, then the grid's for you. But if you want to lower the cost so you can save money rather than making some CEO rich, then solar's the way to go. Now, I want to know, have you installed solar on your home? Comment below if you have, and how much money are you saving for it? All right, let's move on to number 3. It's the right thing to do for the future of our planet. Now, I'm not here to convince you of global warming, nor am I claiming to be an environmentalist. However, what I can show you are some basic facts. In the US, we are known globally as a country of massive overconsumption. We see evidence of this with a few basic statistics. For example, Americans constitute 5% of the world's population, but we consume 24% of the world's energy. The obesity epidemic is another indicator of overconsumption and is a problem worldwide. However, Americans consume on average 200 billion calories more per year than necessary, which is enough to feed 80 million people. It's estimated that over 70% of men and over 61% of women are obese in the US, while the rest of the world sits well under 40%. And that's only because of other developed countries like China that have serious obesity problems as well. Taking a look at plastic waste. About 300 million tons of plastic is produced globally each year. Only about 10% of that is recycled. Of the plastic that is simply trash, an estimated 7 million tons ends up in the sea each year. Now let's take a look at energy. As I mentioned before, we have depended on fossil fuels for over a century, and the real cost is becoming more and more difficult to hide. Now, I won't dive too deep into these statistics, but I'll put some links in the descriptions below for you to see yourself the amount of land degradation and pollution created by toxic waste, as well as the public health dangers and global carbon dioxide emissions. Evidence of these statistics is getting harder and harder to cover up, and as we become more educated and aware, we can do our part to create a more sustainable lifestyle and lower our carbon footprint by getting solar and making a few other lifestyle changes. So now you know the 3 reasons you need to consider getting solar panels. In the description below, I've also included links to my blog where I reference much of the information in this video in more detail, so be sure to check those out below. I promised you a bonus tip at the end of the video, so here it is. If you're considering solar and it makes sense for you to get solar panels, then this is something you absolutely must do before you sign any contract. You have to do an energy audit and assess the efficiency of your home. Now, it sounds crazy, but I'm telling you from first-hand experience and from helping many others, if you don't do this first, you're going to spend hundreds or even thousands more for panels than what you need to. Let me explain briefly. When the solar company does an assessment on your home energy use, they take the last 12 months of energy bills to determine what size system you'll need. If your home isn't energy efficient, then they'll naturally tell you need more panels. It's kind of common sense, but most companies won't tell you this because they would rather get the bigger sale, plus they want you to buy now. Well, first of all, this is a long-term investment, so you should never make a decision on a whim. But second, you want to make your return on investment happen quicker, which is a benefit to you, not someone else. And to make that happen, you need to spend less money. If you check out my video, Home Energy Audit Costs, down in the links below, I go over in detail how you can do your own home energy assessment that will save you potentially thousands of dollars and give you a much faster return on investment for your solar panels. Now, if you want to join a community of people just like you, I have a Facebook page that you can become part of and get more answers and resources to living a cleaner, smarter, healthier life. Just click on the link below to join. And if you like this video, please let me know by liking it below. Subscribe and share it with your friends who want to learn how to live a cleaner, smarter, healthier life. Also, comment below if you found this video helpful to you or you just want to share some additional insight. I always love a good story, so tell me yours. This is Ron Lyons, Mr. Clean Energy, your host for Do Life Healthier, wishing you a cleaner, smarter, healthier life.